So thank you so much for your time.
Great pleasure.
And I'd like to ask your comment on the 2 or 3 things. One is a concern about the situation of world economy. So please tell us about your view on the world economy and also British economy.
Thank you. And it's a great pleasure to have you in the office today and to speak with you. I think for the world economy, it's probably at the most uncertain level that it's been for many, many years. And all of us today, with the great uncertainty with the tariffs that have been proposed, mean that every country is living with a period of uncertainty, and possibly until every country is sorted, there will be uncertainty for many. So I think that's what I would say. I think many of us still believe that free trade, international trade, is the best way to have good, strong foreign relations. It's the best way to grow the world economy. And many of us still believe very strongly in the rule of law and international rules-based trade. So that's uncertain at the moment, although I think for many of our nations, including between the UK and Japan, I think we feel very positive and optimistic about future possibilities in an uncertain world. The UK economy is making steady progress. It's not growing as fast as we would like, but we see it as improving over the future period. We'd obviously like to get above 2% plus growth rate. That might take a little bit of time, but to be very honest, with all the uncertainty in world trade, and we're so interdependent and interconnected, growth in Japan is good for growth in the UK. Growth in Europe is good for growth in the UK, as is growth in the USA. So as long as countries around the world are growing, we can all boats can rise in the sea. But if anyone has difficulty, it has an impact on all of us.
If I may say, this tariff war worldwide has made the situation much more difficult than before. Tariff war is sort of really sort of change the existing global system and the lives of the people. And I'm concerned also about the trust of USA, which is very important for the whole world. How we can cope with this very dangerous situation, if I may say so?
Well, I think without question, the tariff war, as you call it, is going to have a high cost in terms of world economic growth. And particularly for those countries that trade strongly in either direction with the USA, it will be a significant challenge. I think we have to build strong relations between the nations, between as many nations as possible. And as I said earlier, our relationship with Europe is improving significantly better than it was 12 months ago. And I see that improving as we go forward. I think our relationship with Japan, helped by Expo in Osaka this year and many of the conversations, is much better. And I think the more people are talking with each other, solving problems, sharing views, the better for all the nations. And then I think together we've got to think about how we're going to address the challenges of tariffs. And I think the balance there is how does each nation or trading bloc find the right answer for the nation, the trading bloc, without making the world worse rather than better.
I respect the way you have dealt with the Brexit. After Brexit, we sort of fear that British economy might go down, but then you have used the financial power and your contact with other countries. And some of the production industries you have stopped, but then you have found alternatives. Then now again, you trade relationship with EU. You seem to have always find alternative ways to deal with the changing circumstances, which we have to learn from Japan. So tell me how Britain is good at dealing with changing situations.
Well, I think if you're playing a football match, the best way to win the match is not to score 2 own goals before you go too far. I mean, Brexit has cost this country tens of billions of pounds. It's probably cost us 1 to 2% growth rate per annum. So it's been a very, very significant impact. And yes, we've made progress with other trade deals around the world, but in perspective, the financial impact, economic impact is relatively small relative to the negative impact of Brexit. Once you lose a relationship with a friend or an ally, it takes quite some time to rebuild it again. So it has taken us already more than 5 years to begin a new positive relationship with our European neighbours. Having said that, I think this is a country that has tremendous resilience, tremendous adaptability, and that was probably evidenced at its best when we had the pandemic, because we were able to design, develop, manufacture, test, prove, distribute a vaccine to people in record times that we could never have done before. So I think, like many nations, including Japan, very often we're at our best in a crisis. I think life is much better and much more enjoyable if we can manage it well and consistently rather than thrive in a crisis.
You have kindly mentioned about the expo in Osaka. I see that the better, more working, deeper relation between UK and Japan is needed. So the deeper way of cooperating, not just business, culture, but some deeper ways to learn from each other. And I think that a lot of more things that we should learn from UK. The certain systems we have learned, but the contents of the way you deal with statecraft, we have not learned enough. So this is something that I personally feel that we should learn from UK in a higher level.
Well, what I would say is, I think there are businesses and people who have had a very long and positive history in operating in Japan. In fact, last Saturday I was at a concert in the Royal Albert Hall with the great guitarist Eric Clapton, and he has played more times in Japan than any other UK artist. So there are some people who have a very deep affection and very long history in Japan, and by the way, in both directions, just as you are enjoying your time here at the moment. I think that Osaka has opened up new opportunities for more people to learn about Japan, and for people in Japan to be more aware of the UK and its difference. I think that there's great value in understanding difference and then thinking, how do we make that difference create opportunity for our own nations? So can we learn from each other? As I said earlier, I think we can learn a great deal from Japan about a long-term, consistent industrial